right now the morale in Washington is very low. The attacks on Ukraine last night have changed the mood quite a bit. The trucker convoy currently heading towards Washington is being prepared for, but many wonder what we'll actually make of it. The COVID situation is getting better, but not quick enough to really spark some positivity at the Capitol. And what we are hearing right now is that, and what's expected, is that President Biden has until tomorrow to decide who he will nominate for the Supreme Court because they need some positive news. We also heard that Kamala Harris is supposed to be in Louisiana tomorrow, but she canceled her trip last minute. And the expectation is because she wants to be in Washington when President Biden finally says who he is going to nominate. So the expectation is tomorrow, all eyes will be on President Biden and who he decides to ultimately pick. Now, the other big news this evening is that the CDC is expected to significantly ease the pandemic mask guidelines tomorrow as well. This is being seen as another positive sign. Again, the White House is wanting to inject some positivity back into the American people, back into the news, because right now, every little bit counts and there's very little positive news out there. According to reports, the CDC is actually going to change their metrics that determine when masks should be worn. They're going to shift from what they're looking at now, which is COVID cases. But they're going to go from looking at COVID cases to looking at caseloads. But looking at hospitalizations and the hospital's local capacity. That's what they're going to look at. So under the new guidelines, the majority of Americans will no longer be in areas where an indoor mask mandate would be recommended. And again, this is coming while the Biden administration is shifting from preventing COVID completely to preventing serious illness and death. Now, we still don't know exactly how this guidance will impact federal mask mandates on public transportation, like airplanes and trains and stuff like that. But this is something that will most likely be revealed tomorrow when the CD comes out with this new guidance. So I promise I will be back tomorrow and I will fill you in on what's going on there. And we do have some other good news as well. So I want to get to this last piece of good news before I get to the bad news for the day. Here's what we know. Alabama has actually approved $1,500 stimulus checks to childcare workers in the state. This is actually going to go out to roughly about 10,065 employees. Full-time employees are going to get, I believe, $1,500. Part-time employees will get half at $750. Now, the Department of Human Resources said, and I quote, "The nationwide staffing shortage has tested the resilience of Alabama's childcare providers. As they continue to persevere, these bonuses will help recruit much-needed reinforcements and reward current employees for their dedicated service to the children and families of Alabama." Now, I want to address what these bonuses are. These are not just a stimulus check that you are a current child care provider or employee and you get a stimulus check. That's not how this is going to work. Alabama is going to break these checks into 8 quarterly bonuses. You will get one every 3 months for the next 2 years. The goal behind this program is to reward those people that are currently working in childcare for everything that they've done, but at the same time, help bring more people into the workforce and hopefully into childcare. These payments will come for the next 2 years. They will end in September of 2023. Now, I want to bring this up because, and I know many people aren't in childcare, many people aren't in Alabama, so this may not even apply to you, but this is what I've been saying is that things that were proposed last year, which this was actually proposed back in November, I believe, of 2021, but these bills that were proposed are now starting to pass. We're now starting to see the funding. We're now starting to see the application process come into place. And so once the applications are in, they can start accepting people and sending out the money. It's not just Alabama that's doing this. Every state has something, whether it's rental assistance, utility assistance, stimulus checks, child tax credit payments, child care credits. There's things for low-income earners, things for undocumented workers. There's so many different packages out there. The good thing about this is states are giving back to their residents to hopefully help them. And right now, when the IRS is still so far behind with their processing of our federal tax refunds, it's good that some states are providing for their residents while the IRS hopefully gets through all the federal tax returns and sends the money that is actually due to the American people. So right now, that's the good news. But let's get to the not so good news for the day as well. Now, this is something that I've been warning many people about. And right now, here's what's going to happen. If the Secretary of Health and Human Services doesn't extend the public health emergency declaration, and this has to be done before April 15th, then the supplemental SNAP benefits will expire. If everything I just said makes absolutely no sense, let me break it down. Currently, under the supplemental SNAP benefits, this is an additional allotment that families get. This means that even if you were not at the maximum benefit for your family size in your specific state, you would be at the maximum benefit. So families currently, if this is not extended, you're going to lose about $100 per month. I think it comes out to $92 or more. The purpose behind these benefits were to get each family to the maximum monthly benefit. That was the goal. And without the benefit, some families are that even if they fall far short of the poverty line, they still won't meet the maximum monthly allotment. So this could be going away in less than 2 months, if not extended. And right now, it's not looking like we are going to see this extension. This is why I've been telling you guys for months. Make sure, if you are not sure if you do qualify, go and just try. See if you qualify, because you never know. You could. And if you do, you get these benefits, great. You'll get these benefits for a few months. They go away, or maybe you just lose the supplemental allotment, but at least you have benefits coming in for even a short amount of time. At least this would help. Okay? So, and I understand this is going to be a big issue because prices are going to go up even higher, but yet the benefit amount will most likely drop back down to your normal level. So, not great news. But again, that's why I said this is not so good news, or at least this section of it. Now, for some more bad news. The U.S. imposed more sanctions on Russia. And now many U.S. bank executives are extremely worried that Russian cyber attacks could be coming very soon. Now, I warned people on this yesterday that make sure you have cash. Okay, have cash in hand in the event that your debit or credit card just doesn't work. Okay? In the event that the banks somehow get hacked, we see cyber attacks like Ukraine saw the other day. If this is the case and you go into the bank and they're like, we can't give you any money because our systems are all down. We don't know if you have anything. We can't do it for you. Sorry. That can happen. And if that happens and you don't have cash in hand, how do you buy stuff? That will be a very difficult time. We're also hearing that Europe is getting extremely worried that Ukrainians will be flooding their way very soon. Now, they're not worried that Ukrainians are getting out of Ukraine and seeking shelter and safety, but the expectation is that there'll be between 1 and 5 million refugees that will seek protection. And the problem with this is that when you put 1 to 5 million people into Europe, okay, and into these communities that are already at risk of supply chain issues, right? We're already going through this. This will be a larger supply chain issue. This would mean many people will not have the food, the shelter that they need. Now, in order to help with this influx of refugees, President Biden has sent about 5,000 troops that were already in the area over to Poland to hopefully help. So, we'll see if this does help, but who knows? We also know that while Russia is attacking Ukraine, there's anti-war Russians that are fighting back and protesting in more than 50 cities in Russia. As of right now, the last report stated that more than 1,300 people have been arrested for actually fighting back against what is going on. This is not great news, but the positive thing is people in Russia, again, and I want to point this out, it is not Russians in general that are attacking Ukraine. It is not Russians in general who are bad people. It is nothing like that. Okay? Russians are very good people, very friendly people. Okay, so are people in Ukraine. The people aren't the issue. It's President Vladimir Putin and his army. That's the issue. So just keep in mind that, I saw this on the news today, that Russians are bad. No. Russians are not bad. Some maybe, but just like Americans, some are bad. Most are not. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Because when I saw the news saying, Russians are bad, no, change that. Change that. That's not the way it should work. Russians are not bad. Just certain few. Just like in Ukraine, in here in the U.S., maybe Canada, anywhere in the world, right? Certain people are bad. We can't label them all as they are bad. All right? This just made me a little upset when I saw this. That Russians are bad. No. Russians aren't bad. Just certain few. Okay, a small percentage. That's it. So, if you guys have any questions on what's going on right now, you can always ask your questions down in the comment section below. Just want to thank you guys for watching. I will be back on tomorrow morning, unless there's some breaking news later on tonight, which hopefully there's not, because that would probably be very bad news. So again, I will be on here tomorrow morning. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I'll see you guys on the next one.